But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Candy Shop. I am Candace, and this is The Candy Shop channel. Thank you guys for joining. I wanted to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville tonight, but my kids are still up. They're going crazy. I couldn't focus. So tomorrow I'll be doing a really good review of the show because there's a lot that has been going on. I posted the lives. I know y'all can hear my kids screaming. No, I didn't abandon y'all. Let me drop the link because I might want somebody to join. My kids are going crazy. My husband is mad that Auburn University is losing. He's watching college football. But I wanted to just get on here and chat a little bit because it's been a lot, well, somewhat of a lot going on. I know a lot of you have watched the Dahmer series. I watched it and it was interesting. I couldn't take myself away from it, but I hate that I supported it too. It's like I feel indifferent about it. But hey, Sharon F., good to see you. Hey, Lamar, good to see you as well. But tomorrow I'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville because there's a lot going on. It's a lot to unpack. It looks like it's leading up to the fight. I was in the middle of watching tonight's episode, but I stopped watching it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow where I can focus on it more. And then my sinuses are acting up, I think, because of Hurricane Ian. I'm in Georgia, but I'm in Atlanta, so I'm not by the coast, but we're still getting some of the windy weather, I guess. But thank you all for joining me. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about hot topics and what was going on. And my connection may get slow, so I might freeze because I just saw it gave me a warning. But first, I want to talk about the Dahmer series. So Jeffrey Dahmer, this is first of all, the story has been told over and over again. It's very disturbing. At the time, for those that don't know, I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I was living there when it happened. Hey, Precious Pisces, good to see you. But yeah, I was living in Milwaukee when it happened. And at the time, when all of that stuff came out, they made the victims seem like they were like throwaway people, like nobody cared about them. I thought they were homeless men. And I thought that Jeffrey Dahmer was killing these men. Well, I thought black men were being targeted about race. But this is my view on the whole race thing and Jeffrey Dahmer. So I don't think that Jeffrey Dahmer was racist. The city of Milwaukee and the police department, they were racist. They allowed this white man to get away with killing all of these people of color. Jeffrey Dahmer, to me, was an opportunist when it came to crime. He lived in a black area of Milwaukee, the north side, near downtown Milwaukee. They don't point that out, but he was near downtown Milwaukee, an area that was not the best. And for those that know my hometown, the north side is black. And so when he's going out looking for people to get and murder and eat, I hate to say that, and eat, it's just opportunity. He's in an area that's heavily populated by black people, so that's what's available to him. If y'all noticed in the series, the first two men that he killed were not black. I think the first one was white, and then the next one, I don't know if he was white or Asian or what he was, but the two stories that were the saddest to me were the 14-year-old boy, because I remember that. I remember them flashing his picture on the news when I was living there. That was sad because it wasn't, now I'm gonna say this, the series, some of it is, majority of it is true, but some of it they've combined characters. So the lady, what is it? What's her name? The lady that played his neighbor on the show is not the actual person in real life that discovered the 14-year-old. It was a different lady. It was a different lady on the street, but they combined those characters. But I remember those people. Yes, Glenda, let me go to some of your comments. I'm looking at your comments and trying to stay on track as well. But yes, and hey, Candace Lane, good to see you. And yes, the first two were white. But Glenda, that character is, I think, a composite of several people, because there was a lady, if y'all watch TikTok too, the actual lady is on TikTok and they don't bring her up. But that 14-year-old boy was on the street and at a late night, and they made it seem like back when I was a child that his parents didn't care about him. He was just this homeless child wandering the streets or whatever, and a possible lover of Jeffrey Dahmer's. That was how the news portrayed it when I was like 8 at the time, and I remember this. That was how they portrayed it at that time. But when we see the series, we learned that the police came and they didn't believe the black lady that basically said this boy is in danger. This is a child. The police talking about mind your business and all this other stuff. And Jeffrey Dahmer ended up killing that boy. So that story was sad to me. And the story of Tony, I think I'm saying his name right, the deaf black guy. He had a modeling career. He had moved to Madison to go to school for a little bit to model and all that. So that was sad. Yes, he whatever. Lamar, and hey Toria, good to see you. So yeah, back then hearing about it, like I said, it just seemed like, first of all, it was odd because the first thing that we saw as people is that this man is just eating people, and then we hear it's black people, and then we hear some of the men that were missing, because they have been saying that these black men were missing for a while, but the black men that were missing were the ones that he was eating. So it was just so crazy. And I remember that apartment complex, they ended up tearing it down like not too long after after all of this stuff came out. And then I remember watching the court case, and I remember hearing about him being murdered by that man in prison. So all of it happened fast in the span of like 3 years, from 91 to 94. So I have no desire to watch Dahmer. Don't watch it, precious Pisces. Don't support it, because though I hate that I watched it, but I do like the fact that it sheds some light on the victims. But some of the victims were upset about it being basically a drug up old memories, and they didn't contact any of the victims to do this series. And then when they got their statements with the court case, which I thought was phenomenal, that they had the exact statements that they said, but they said they didn't have permission to do that. So yes, it's just crazy. The deaf guy, yes, the deaf guy, yeah, it broke my heart because he was so sweet and genuine, and it was a lot. And I understand a lot of people are like, how did these men just go out with him? But when y'all look at that time, because it was like he murdered people, ate people from the late 70s up until the early 90s. So think about the 80s with Studio 54. Think about everything that was going on at that time, especially prior to the HIV. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but prior to that happening, that pandemic, people weren't using condoms like that. They were having a good time. They were not afraid of just going home with people. So we're at a time where it's happening. So this man is coming up to them in that lifestyle, because I'm gonna say this too. In Milwaukee, the gay community definitely was underground. I'm gonna say that it was definitely underground. Milwaukee at that time was a very conservative city, very segregated, very old school. So, and we're talking about a Midwestern city at that. So think about Detroit, think about Cleveland, think about those types of cities. At that time, those cities still had their problems, and the gay scene was not like how it is. Well, I'll just say this. It wasn't like how it was in New York. So even though it was underground, they trusted this man. They thought they were going to have a good time. And I heard with a lot of the victims, he promised them money. So let me go to some of y'all comments, because I just been running my mouth. And anybody, I'm gonna drop the link again. Anybody that wants to join and talk about this show, because it did a lot. Like I said, watch it if you want to. It is very dark. A friend of mine made a post on Facebook talking about trauma porn, and that's kind of what this is like. I'm a person, though, that watches the ID channel, and I watch murder mysteries. So it was interesting to see the Dahmer situation from the victim's perspective, because even though it highlighted and told his backstory, we still got to see a lot of the victim's perspectives. And I've watched another Dahmer, like an actual documentary about Dahmer. I didn't finish it because it was just too much. That was like a few years ago. The man in prison is a hero. Yes. And that's another thing. The man that actually was able to go to the police, the one that got away. Did y'all know recently he was arrested for killing a homeless man? It's just crazy. It's crazy. Oh, and thank you, Red Label. And hey, Tanga J, good to see you. Hey, Young Rich, Red Label. The good old days in the 80s, right? That exactly. Or hanging out in the streets, right? That because I think about my mom, and hey, Chris Maxwell, good to see you as well. I think about my mom. She told me back when, because I have a young mother too. So back in the 80s, when she was 18, that was the legal drinking age. So they didn't. I don't think Wisconsin made it 21 until closer to the 90s. When my mother turned 18 in 1983, she could drink. So okay, good, Deb. I'll be waiting for you. But this was so interesting. And then going to Dahmer as a person. So it tried to put Dahmer in a light where I guess we would understand more. A previous documentary that I watched talked about how he liked killing animals, and that was a sign. But this new series made it seem like his father and him, it wasn't necessarily about killing animals. They didn't kill the animals. They were picking up roadkill and dissecting them. So doesn't seem weird to me, not necessarily because his father was a scientist. So that part didn't seem weird. I feel like Jeffrey Dahmer, the reason why he had the issues that he had, the father said a lot, like it was mentioned several times in the series. His mother, and hey, Miss Terry, good to see you. His mother, it sounds like, didn't have a bond with him when he was born. She was taking prescription medication when she was pregnant with him. And then after he was born, she never hugged him. She didn't get that connection that we as mothers have with our children. And so that played a part. And then at 18, his parents separate. The mother leaves, and then the father leaves as well. The father thought he was leaving Jeffrey Dahmer's mother, well, Jeffrey with his mother, and the mother ended up taking the younger brother and leave. So you have an 18-year-old boy still in high school that has some issues that is kind of antisocial, awkward. You have him living by himself in a house, fending for himself. So that says a lot too. And it seems like he had issues with abandonment. He had issues, just a lot of issues there. So when I've read up on Jeffrey Dahmer, they say he was not a psychopath. He was more just a person that had convulsions and could not act on them. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And that's my problem with him. He knew exactly that he was taking these young men away from their homes, and he would watch, I think, Psycho 3 to put himself in the mindset to do this. And that's what makes me very upset, because if you know what you're doing, especially with the deaf guy, that it makes me mad. And that's why I hate that Netflix is making money off of the story and people are being entertained by it. So that I'm conflicted. So I might contradict myself a couple of times because I'm conflicted. Lamar said, "Are we willing to say that he's a victim too that became a predator?" The Exorcist. I'm sorry, I said Cycle 3. It was The Exorcist. I'm on the fence with that. I think that Jeffrey Dahmer, I don't necessarily believe that he was a victim. I think he had problems, but I think that he was enabled by the police. And someone will have to show me how he was a victim. I understand we all have issues. Like there are other children like him that have gone through things, but they don't go murdering and eating people. So like I said, he knew what he was doing. I don't feel any empathy for him. I don't feel sorry for him because he knew what he was doing. He did not choose to go get help. And he, like I said, he just knew it was wrong. And then when he gets in jail, when he gets caught, he wants to say, "Oh, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve to be murdered." No. If you can say that you deserve to be murdered, you deserve to be caught, you deserve all this other stuff, then you should have known not to do this. And that's why I don't think he's a victim. I will forever think that he's a predator. So yeah, I said it. I just talked myself through that. His eyes were dead. Yeah, I think he got into that mindset. Like I said, he had feelings. He does not, to me, he does not come off like the typical serial killer like a Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy just seemed like a psychopath, whereas Jeffrey Dahmer was very calculated. Canara, can you get them knocking on the door? The real estate insider said he was watching them born ass movies, right? I need Netflix to make money. I got rid of cable, so well, I don't know. Watch something else, Lamar. Dev said they said he wore yellow contacts because of the character from The Exorcist. See, he knew what he was doing. Younger said after I seen The Secrets of Playboy, they made that girl give that dog what? To say the least, I said no more crime documentaries for me. So I can definitely understand that. I don't want to see that. But going back to Dahmer, he one of the I guess the therapists or psychiatrists that spoke in his case, because he had two. So one psychiatrist, I don't know if it was a psychiatrist or a therapist, but this person, and you guys can look it up later on, but one of them said that the reason why he was killing this man is because he was killing the gayness in himself. The other one said that he was a good person and that he would go into a psychosis and just black out. So I believe the latter. I believe that he didn't like being gay. And growing up, like I said, growing up in Milwaukee, being in Wisconsin, it's a very, at that time, even though Wisconsin is liberal, but it was still a traditional state. So being gay is not something, even though it's liberal, being gay is not something that is just out there like that. People, it leaves a stain. I'll just say that. And so I know he didn't want to do that. And the part that I thought was interesting was him stealing the mannequin from the department store, and that actually happened. He stole the mannequin from Boston store, which was a store similar to like Macy's or Dillard's, if y'all live down south, Dillard's. But he stole the mannequin body. Lamar said he was eating his gate. Dad, where you at? Because I'm going on and on, and my kids, I need to mute for a second. Younger said, what y'all think about the people lusting over Dahmer saying he could have had them? These people are sick. Like, it's not a game. But you have to think about the victims. When I went to work, I try not to talk about this stuff at work anyway. But, we have these little water cooler conversations. And one of my employees suffered one of her family members being murdered. Not eaten, but something on the lines of that. And she doesn't want to hear anything about it. So we had to stop talking about it. And people don't realize that it's real. And hey, Deb.
Hey.
Yeah, I want to say this. I don't agree with people glorifying him. I think it's gross. And hey, Javier, good to see you. You guys make sure you subscribe to the Javier Show. But what are your thoughts on Dahmer? I watched the show yesterday until Queen Tulsa came. I had to dip.
Child, that's the whole story. Another story for another day. But I watched it twice because the Virgo would be just. I wanted to understand why. I think we were probably like around like 8 or 9 when that was going on. So I didn't really know about it. I mean, I've heard about him, but I didn't really know the story. I didn't know that it was like most of the people were black and all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. But watching it, I was like, I don't really feel like he was doing it because they were black people. And then I watched some of the documentaries or whatever on YouTube, and I was watching the story about the guy who got out the house who basically got him arrested. And that man wasn't even gay. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about that. I think Lamar told me he wasn't even gay. So
yeah, he wasn't gay, and that's the way that they put the story wasn't real because Jeffrey met him and his friends at the mall, and he had talked to them about taking new photos of them.
And they were just trying to make some money.
Yeah, because the dude said I guess he had lost his job or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so the friends wanted to go back home and change their clothes or whatever, which I'm like, why you change your clothes to take naked pictures? That makes sense. But
all right.
I'm like, they probably was like, dude, we not doing this or whatever. But then he started talking about how his twin brother lives in the same neighborhood as Jeffrey or whatever. So I guess they had stopped by the store, his brother, whatever, and they ended up going to the house. And he found out later on that Jeffrey gave the friends the wrong address.
Wow. So Jeffrey just wanted him. Jeffrey also met, unlike the series, the 14-year-old he met at Grand Avenue Mall. It's a mall in Milwaukee. He actually met him there.
Mm.
So I don't know why they made it seem. Well, I guess for I don't know why the series was different, but parts of the series, majority of it is 100%. Well, I'm not gonna say 100%. Majority of it is about, I would say, 80% true, but the people in the places and things are somewhat false. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, he met the young boy because in the movie they try to make it seem like he met the young boy at a store or outside a gay bar or whatever. But the boy, the 14-year-old, he met at the mall. And so it looks like he was looking for, right, Lamar, that's the word I was looking for, dramatic liberty. He was looking for victims. And that's why this is my thing with him being, I don't think he's a victim.
Yeah,
But
because in the show he met him outside of the liquor store.
yeah. But yeah, I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer is a victim. What are your thoughts on that? Because I
I don't
know.
think I don't think he's a victim. I think he did have a traumatizing childhood. I think a lot of it was because of his mother taking those pills while she was pregnant, though. Um, because I watched the father on Oprah, and he was talking about, because they showed in the documentary, the father getting that dead animal from underneath the house. Jeffrey was
Mhm.
only 40 years old at that time,
Yeah.
and they said that he said that when Jeffrey had picked up the bones, he said the bones were like fiddlesticks or something like that. He liked the sound of the bones clicking together, something like that. But he was also talking about how Jeffrey didn't show signs of like the excessiveness of what he was doing, I guess, when they're growing up, because I guess during the trial he kind of like gave them more insight. Like, I guess when the dad would take him fishing and the dad would gut the fish, like it was like turning him on or whatever. And the dad said he never knew that. He said Jeffrey never showed that, when they were doing it. He said he learned that during the trial. And
Wow.
he was like, a lot of the things, because I think the other thing was, on the documentary, they made it seem like the father was like running around with him picking up dead animals all the time. But on the Oprah thing, he was saying that the kids in the neighborhood would tell him that Jeffrey's riding his bike around finding dead animals.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, that is crazy. That is so crazy. And I think at the time, I think the father, because it's like, what do you do when your child is doing that? Like, do you ever talk with them? What do you do?
Well, you
Um,
try to make a relationship with him through that, because they did not have that relationship.
yeah, because the
So
father,
I thought,
like I said, he was a scientist, so he probably thought his son was following in his footsteps.
well, no, he said he was afraid of Jeffrey, and on a few of the interviews that he did, and on the show, I think he said it. But
Mm,
he also said that he had those same feelings about killing people that Jeffrey had.
yeah, now I knew that. What did you think of the grandma? I'm glad she saved that other young man.
Well, see, even that story's not true,
Mm.
because I think they said that she did come downstairs or whatever.
But
But
Jeffrey took him to the hospital. I read in real life he did take him to the hospital.
see, I didn't. When I watched everything, I didn't see that he took him to the hospital, because the guy never knew how he got to the hospital.
Yeah, I read that he took him to the hospital because what I read was the grandmother. I don't know if the grandmother knew somebody was there, but she came and said something. That was why he did not kill him.
He said that the guy said that when he got into the house, the grandmother asked who was down there with him, and she did come downstairs or whatever, and she seen that he was out of it. But I guess the part where like she stayed up with him all night and then took him to the bus stop, that part was fake.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that part was like Lamar said, dramatic liberty.
I
But
think knew something was going on, because how do you smell that death smell in your house all that time and not think anything?
exactly, I don't know. All of it was weird. Like Lamar said, the whole family seemed crazy.
Yeah.
Um, the mom, I just feel like she definitely abandoned her son. I think she thought he was weird as well, and
Yeah.
she just didn't want any parts of the situation.
Well,
um
mentally ill though. I think that she was not all the way there, because even on the show, when they gave her that job, she was saying something like she wished she would have never, had children or whatever, and she would have waited later on in life to do it because she wasn't ready.
yeah, And they never say, excuse me, they never say how old she was or how old the parents were when they got married.
Yeah, there's no documentation of whatever happened to the brother either.
Yeah. Well, he disappeared. He changed his name and did not want to have any association with them.
Wow.
Yeah. I read that. Yeah, he's anonymous now and he does not want to be found at all. Oh, and hey, Busy Blue, good to see you. Yes, I do know the mother was mentally ill
Yeah.
as well prior to him being born, but it just seemed like even because of her mental illness, she could not support him at all. And she kind of, to me, ostracized him.
Yeah, to me, the whole thing seems like he just had abandonment issues. Because listening to what he was saying, it was basically like he wanted those people around him, forever. Like it was like,
Yeah, and think about it, because I've read things where they said that okay, you know how he was, and this is so graphic. He was drilling a hole in their heads to put them in like some type of state where they would be like sex slaves, and
yeah,
he never really intended to actually kill them.
right.
Yeah, Busy. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know this was mentioned on the series and in real life. So yeah, she didn't have that bond with him, and
And then
that
she
can
left him
affect
in the
children.
house. Then she left him in the house by himself
Mm-hmm.
for all
And
that time.
it was so strange. The part that I didn't understand was how she neglected him. She never formed the relationship with him, but she did with the younger child.
It seemed like there was a jealousy between the relationship with Jeffrey and the father, and them not having a relationship with her at all. Like it seemed like the father and Jeffrey did not fuck with her for real.
I don't know. I think because she didn't have that bond, and let's not forget that the father thought that his hernia operation or surgery is what changed him. So it
Oh,
just
this is what else I saw today too. I was like, I want to remember this.
mhm.
So, was it is it Geraldo? Is that who had the show back in the day? Geraldo.
Geraldo. It was pronounced Geraldo.
Geraldo, yeah. So he did. He had a thing where he interviewed the guy who got away. There was one of the boys' mother and his sister came, a neighbor, and then they had like a therapist or psychologist or something that was there. But then they also had a guy there. He was behind like a uh basically like a privacy wall where you can't tell who he is because him and Jeffrey lived together for a while. It was his boyfriend.
Wait, who lived with Jeffrey?
There was this white guy. You couldn't see who he was because he was like an anonymous person. They had him sitting in like this glass box where the glass you can't see through it, but you could tell it was the white guy. You could tell he had like khaki pants and a yellow shirt on, but you couldn't see him. And so neighbor asked him because this came up on the show too, and it's like people are really like scaling over this. But the neighbor asked him. She said, "I want to know something from you." She said that there was a rumor going around that the father M-worded him, and
Wow.
the guy said that Jeffrey did tell him that, and Geraldo was like, "Well, because the father's not here to defend himself, we're going to just say basically allegedly."
Yeah, now I think that guy, because I saw clips of that, I didn't believe that story. I thought that was fake.
Did you?
I definitely thought people were coming. Here go my children crying. I thought people were coming, trying to get like 15 minutes of fame. One thing that I wanted to bring up that I didn't want to forget with the Tony story, when Jeffrey Dahmer went to court, he denied even knowing him prior to prior to killing him. But witnesses and other people basically supported the fact that Jeffrey had known him for almost a year. Why do you
No,
think?
I
Go ahead.
no the guy that got away.
No, I'm talking about Tony, the deaf guy.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer tried to say that that was the first time that he had met him. Hey, Queen
Oh,
Tulsa, good to see you. But Jeffrey Dahmer tried to say that that was the first, basically him murdering him that day was the first time he had ever encountered him. But witnesses, I don't know why my kids are crying. Witnesses and other people supported the fact that he had known him for a year. He was actually an acquaintance of his, and they actually probably had a relationship. Why do you
if
think, though, that Jeffrey Dahmer would want to deny knowing him?
he probably felt bad because the way they portrayed it in the show, he had a relationship with that guy, And it seemed like he really liked him. I think the guy was really giving him the sense of being around, like not leaving or whatever. And I think that like sickness kicked in that day. And like I kicked my own self in the ass. Like, why'd you go back and get the fucking keys?
I know.
Um, I'm like, you were out of there, you know. Um, but the thing is that even if he didn't get to go back and get the keys that day, he still would have probably went back to the house, you know.
Yeah. I felt so bad for his mother. Hey, Lamar.
Hey, what's going on, Lamar?
What's happening?
What are your thoughts? I'm gonna turn my camera off for a second to check on these kids. What are your thoughts?
Who we talking about? I missed what y'all were talking about. Y'all still talking about Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer, the relationship that he had with Tony, the deaf guy. Have you watched the whole series?
I haven't watched the entire thing. I hadn't gotten to the deaf guy yet. I only got through that first episode when the dude, I didn't understand why he didn't whip his ass. He was like really taking his time to do anything. And was he Twitter-pated from that drink that had the stuff floating around in it?
So the real story with that is that the guy, because you talking about the guy who got away, right?
Yeah, the one that got away. Like he seen the stuff floating around the drink. He still sipped it. He wasn't really affected too much, but I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, the real story, because I watched his court case on YouTube. I watched it like 3 times. I've been like so obsessed with this.
Yeah.
But he was saying that when he got there, Jeffrey gave him a beer and a rum and coke, but he said he didn't drink like that. So he said he took a sip out of it, but he never picked the rum and coke. I mean, he had rum and coke back up because he said it just tasted really bad. He said he didn't know if it was from the drugs that was in there or if it was just because of the alcohol taste. He said he couldn't stand the taste of the alcohol. Beer or whatever. So he said that when they were sitting there on that couch, he said that Jeffrey was cool. He said it was no crazy stuff or whatever like that. But I guess he was taking too long, and I guess because he didn't drink that drink or whatever, he wasn't feeling. Because I think he said Jeffrey asked him was like he feeling okay, and the guy was like, yeah, I'm feeling fine. And so he said that Jeffrey asked him to look at his fish tank that was sitting next to him. So he said he turned to look at the fish tank. And when he did, Jeffrey slapped a handcuff on him and put that machete in his side.
That is so crazy to me.
You ain't lying.
Because
I went down the rabbit hole with this shit.
But my thing is this is what got me with that guy. I would think that you could smell the smell coming from the apartment when you hit the door.
Well, he did, right?
And when he got there, it did smell like that. And he asked Jeffrey what the smell was. But Jeffrey told him that it was because of the pipe that busted out of the house. And he said because his father worked for the sewer system, that is what it smells like. So he didn't think anything of it.
See, in the show, he said that it was some old meat his family left over there. But why your ass leave some old meat in the house smelling like this?
Let me ask this. So, Deb, did you see the guy? What is the guy's name? The one that got away? The guy that got away, whatever.
Tony.
Let me see. I thought the deaf guy was Tony, but the guy that got away though, they said that his story has changed several times, and they even with the locks on the door, they were saying that he explains all these locks, but Jeffrey Dahmer only had 2 locks on his door.
See, he never in the court when he was at court, he didn't explain nothing about a bunch of locks. He said that he talked about how Jeffrey took him to the back of the house. He kept trying to lay on his stomach and put his hands behind his back. But if he put his hands behind his back and Jeffrey got the other handcuff on him, that was it for him. So he said he kept laying on his side or whatever. And then I guess Jeffrey laying up on the floor with him, and he started listening to his heart. And he told him that he was going to eat his heart. And then he said that eventually, because this went on for a while, he kept telling Jeffrey he had to go to the bathroom. And so Jeffrey let him up off the floor. He went to the bathroom. He said the first time Jeffrey went in the bathroom with him, he said he never looked at his penis or nothing like that. He just made sure that he was just in the bathroom using it or whatever. So he ended up going back into the bedroom with Jeffrey. He had to lay back on the floor again. And so he had made the excuse to have to use the bathroom again. So he let him go to the bathroom. I think it's like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. The last time he went to the bathroom, Jeffrey didn't go in the bathroom with him. And I think he told Jeffrey he wanted another beer too.
Right before he went. You must have heard the testimony from the real guy.
Yeah.
I watched that too. Yeah.
He went back. So he said he wanted to get into the living room because there was an air conditioner in the living room and it was hot as hell in Jeffrey's room. And so he said that Jeffrey kept going in and out the entire time. And I guess they were talking or whatever when he got into the living room. And he said that he told Jeffrey the last time he had to go to the bathroom but Jeffrey never really responded to him. And so that's when he said he was like, it's either life or death, or he gonna kill me one way or the other. So I'm fighting. And he said he got up. He said he punched Jeffrey in the face, and then he got through the door and left.
I'm glad he got away.
Me too.
But he's like mentally like scarred now, though. Like because he's been
yeah, he murdered somebody.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah, let me look him up. So the deaf guy, his name is Tony. His real name was Anthony Hughes, but they called him Tony. The guy that got away, let's see. Let me look him up.
And then that 14-year-old boy, Jeffrey killed his brother too. Oh, he killed the brother.
He assaulted the brother. He didn't kill him. He assaulted him.
Oh,
and
he
that
killed
was the thing.
Okay.
No, he didn't kill him. He didn't kill him. Jeffrey
Dahmer.
He killed the 14-year-old, but he
assaulted the brother.
He assaulted the other brother. The other brother, like the parents had taken Jeffrey Dahmer to jail. Jeffrey Dahmer was a registered sex offender because the 14-year-old's brother. And instead of making him stay in jail, they released him. I watched the actual court case, or I saw clips of the court case where the judge was like, "You seem like a good guy," and
I need to watch
basically let him off. And
yeah, I mean, you saw the documentary. He was like, "You seem like a good kid,
Jeffrey.
You go to work every day, and you want to just have to." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
He don't even look like that, especially if he look like anything like he look on the show. I think I saw his pictures in real life. He looked crazy. I don't even understand why those dudes would even go back to the house when he looked like he was crazy. I mean,
Tracy Edwards is the guy that got away.
Tracy. Yeah, Tracy. I think there's different pictures of him because sometimes he does look like an attractive white guy. Then sometimes he looks crazy. Sometimes he looks like a weirdo. But there in some pictures he looks normal.
I think he is an attractive white guy, but and that's why he got away with it, because of the fact that he looked so attractive and normal.
Yeah.
And that's why all these people are, I guess, wishing they were the victim. I guess they want to get their livers ate too. That's
that is weird
right now. I can't eat steak because of that movie. He frying a liver in the goddamn pan.
That is the craziest. People crazy, and they trying to get glasses or shades, whatever glasses like his too.
Rick Ross stupid self did that. But it was crazy because that guy, you said his name was Tracy. He said that Jeffrey Dahmer showed him pictures of
like poor white trash. I'm sorry, I know white people here.
He said he showed pictures of like where he had like he had 8 off of people.
He ate off of them.
Yeah, like he showed up pictures where like he had like basically like bitten people like he was eating.
All I know is when I was a child, they were showing that he had people in the freezer. Like I remember this as a child. And so the first thing they presented to us is, oh, he has human body parts in the freezer. And around that time, I think it was some man in Texas. Somebody was making furniture out of people in Texas. So yes, it was just crazy to hear somebody eating people and then the other person making furniture.
That other guy that they injected and they killed him, that he was making bowls out of the people's skulls.
Bowls.
I know they compared Jeffrey to the other serial killer in Wisconsin, Ed Gein. Yeah. He was the one that was making, like, I guess his character is like the Silence of the Lambs character.
That was the one with the clown. Right?
Yes. Let me get to Tanga's comment. She said the real Dahmer always looked like he was chewing in court.
He probably would. He probably had something left in the back of his mouth. And
they were saying that he was feeding the neighbors to people too.
Yeah, he made them sandwiches.
Yeah.
Human, like of the people's body?
Yeah. It's crazy. And I'm not laughing because I think this is just so hilarious, but I'm laughing because it's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
So those that know me know that in situations like this, I'm laughing because it's unbelievable.
I'm laughing because it's absurd.
Yeah.
It was just crazy to me because I mean I heard you talking about the Glenda. The reason why I watched it was because I love Niecy Nash. And so I thought that they were going to tell the Glenda lady's story.
Well, that lady, the actual lady, actually didn't even live in his building. She's a that character is a composite of several people.
Right. They were. It was a lady that was across the hallway from him and Glenda's story together.
Yeah, and the lady that lived in the other building is the one that kept calling the police.
What was she calling about? She smelled the body all the way across the street? Oh, she see
Well,
people coming in and out.
it was just suspicious stuff going on with him, and like when the situation with the 14-year-old happened, it was several people that kept calling the police.
Oh, okay.
And at that time, growing up in Milwaukee, I'm gonna go in a little soapbox for a second. Growing up in Milwaukee in the 90s, it was very and so Deb, you're from the Midwest. You're from Cleveland or
Columbus, because he went to Ohio State.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State.
And he went to college.
The daddy was like, yeah, that scene was funny when the daddy was upset about him failing, having a 0.06 GPA or something like that.
Yeah.
But growing up in the Midwest, I forgot my train of thought, but you know that it was rough in the 90s. People were robbing at that time. My cousin, the Bulls were big at the time. And so my cousin had a leather Letterman jacket of the Chicago Bulls, and it had rhinestones in the Bulls' eyes. He was robbed at gunpoint for that jacket. And
remember they were doing that with the people with the starter jackets.
Yes, you were robbed for starter jackets, Jordans, anything. Mm-hmm. My mom and aunt got robbed they were in the car at a stoplight, and a person walked up with a gun, asked for their purses. So wow. in the Black communities, the police were not there, and then when you call them, they never show up. What's the song 911 is a joke in your town? Yeah. That was real.
That was real.
That's how Milwaukee was, and at that time, the police was not on our side. So you had people like this is so funny. Those from Milwaukee, y'all know Michael McGee. Michael McGee is like the what's the guy in Dallas that's crazy that they hate? Is it Wally Price? What's that man?
Oh, John Wally Price.
John Wally Price. So we had an alderman named Michael McGee, and Michael McGee went on Donahue's show and punched out this KKK member. But Michael McGee was somebody for Black. He's like the
Wait 90s. A minute. Is he still he's still in office? He's still on the city council?
Michael McGee? Like that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know his son had run, but Michael McGee was very like controversial. He was pro-Black. New Black Panthers, kind of, but at that time, those were the people that we could depend on in Midwestern cities. Those aldermen and people that were for us, are like what's his name now that had the school that never was built? Michael McGee is exactly like him.
Are you talking about the dude
that's saying this is suspicious?
What's his Dr. Umar.
So Michael McGee was Dr. Umar is the Michael McGee of today. At that time, though, in Wisconsin, we had Michael McGee because the police were not for us. And when you see this series, this Jeffrey Dahmer series, that's a prime example. It definitely highlighted it. And those cops, those that don't know, got their jobs back. They didn't talk about that in the series.
Of course.
Yeah, they did.
So
they talked about that in the series. Because they went. Remember they went and suspended them with pay, and the guy was saying because he's not from there and he's still basically on trial with the people in the city that he couldn't do anything. And then I think like later on in a later episode they got their jobs back, and he was pissed off.
Yeah, and they got paid. That was so crazy to me.
No,
yeah. But the other thing is it was the gay thing that you could not be gay in the Midwest at that time. It just was
because to be honest, so Deb, I didn't even know Milwaukee had gay bars, to be honest.
I didn't know that Ohio had them. I literally, me and my homegirl that I used to do my Saturday morning brunch crew with, my friend Monalay, she used to take me to this bar and we would do karaoke every Sunday. I never knew it was a gay bar. I never knew that. And you can literally go, it looked like a little small bar, but if you go all the way to the back, you can walk through these double doors and it's a whole club in the back. I never knew for like years.
Yeah. So yeah, these Midwestern towns, and like I said before, my knowledge prior to this series, the victims to me were like throwaway people. They made it seem like these are people that nobody was looking for. Homeless men, and they didn't care. These were Black gay men. They didn't care. For one, they were Black, and two, they were gay. So why should they care? That was the mindset of those people back then.
When I say they casted those people so well, because that lady who played the Deaf Boy's mom, His
Yeah,
real mom looks his real mom just like her.
Charmaine. Well,
Yes,
her name
Charmaine. Yes,
Charmaine.
his real mom looks just like her.
Wow.
Mm.
I felt so sad for her.
I did too.
Because she loved her son, and the
Yes.
deaf boy was gay. I mean, not gay. The deaf boy was deaf because of penicillin or some type of medicine that he took as a child. He had some type of virus as an infant. They gave him some medicine, and the side effect was he ended up deaf.
Was he hearing? Yep.
So
that story was so sad. I think that the way that they did it, you know, I mean, I hate that it was for something like this, but I love the way they told the story with how they even took the hearing away from us as viewers watching it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I thought my TV was messing up. I was like,
that's smart.
It was like you got to experience the entire. That's why people are so traumatized about watching it, because you feel like you actually lived that boy's story in that. And I thought that was just such an amazing thing that they did for viewers to watch that and actually experience what that boy was going through at that time.
Did he get 8 too? He got 8 or just killed?
I think he got. They don't tell who all got 8 in the movie.
Yeah, they don't tell that. And that was another thing. I wanted to say this. They thought that Jeffrey Dahmer was also responsible for murdering what's the man, John Walsh from America's Most Wanted, his son. And I knew that wasn't him with the victim. Because, you know, Adam Walsh, the boy that went missing, the movie Adam and all of that back in the 80s, that was a child. Jeffrey Dahmer seemed like all of the men that he messed with were his age. Because Tony, the deaf guy, was actually 31. And I believe he might have been older than Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm surprised they didn't travel down his time in the military, because when he was going through those trials, a lot of people that was in the military with him talked about him messing with them.
He was in the military too?
That's why he was discharged, because he had did something to some men.
I thought it because he kept getting drunk. I didn't know that they said that was the reason.
And excuse me, I didn't mean to say the R word on YouTube. But I'm gonna mute for just a second, but y'all can keep going with y'all thoughts. This is a good conversation. I didn't know my daughter coming in here. I didn't know.
So he did seem like a regular person. He went to college and he went to the military, all that.
Yeah, because he got in trouble for something, and his dad was like, "You're going to the army," and he sent him off to the army, and he made it through basic camp,
basic training.
Basic training. And then I guess he went back because they based him somewhere, and they ended up discharging him because of what he was doing to the people he was with.
What was he doing? I wonder.
Like 3 of them on the witness stand talking about things like about him taking advantage of them.
That's crazy. He should have got shot. Remind me of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
that's dude on there.
He got away with a lot of stuff. I'm like, if that was a black man, that's what it ended in like 30 minutes.
The first act. Yep,
right.
First act it would have been it.
That was it.
First phone call to the police would have been over.
That's why I wanted to say, Lamar, going back to your comment about him being a regular person, that's why I said I don't think he's a victim. He knew what he was doing. He lived a privileged life, even though his parents abandoned him, but he had gone to school, he went to the military, it seemed like every job he got, someone got it for him. Oh my God. Let me move for a second.
They were saying that his dad had money and he was basically paying to get him off of all the stuff that he had did.
Mm.
And the dad got him into Ohio State, and then he flunked out.
Yeah, because he said the classes was too early.
Yeah, he was
too early.
Yeah, he was too early for him to go to class. So,
but you could have taken that classes, right? But I mean, with all the drinking that he was doing, I'm pretty sure that he wasn't getting up in the morning going to no class.
Yeah, what else he got to do? Nothing else to do but eat people.
This story is just so fascinating to me because it's just like I couldn't imagine getting to that space in my own life and to know like he was doing it, because I mean, like even when in the show when he killed the second white guy, and he drugged him. I think he drugged him and he drugged himself and the white guy on accident.
He drove himself.
Yeah, because the white he was like he I think he admitted that on the show, but he ended up killing the guy in the middle of the night, and he felt like you could tell like he didn't know that he did that, and so he ended up putting the guy in that suitcase and then dismembering his body. And that was at the time that his mom had left him in the house by himself.
Well, he's long gone now. He got cremated, it say. Let's look it up.
Yeah, I think that was the part that really made me upset was at the end of the show, because they wanted to dissect his brain, and the father and the mother were going back and forth about it, because the mother, and I think this was a point of guilt for her, because she knew that she had been on all those medications while she was pregnant with him.
She didn't want nobody to find out.
Abandoned him, and so she wanted them to examine his brain, and the father was like, "No, we're just done with this." So
the father was a scientist, and he said no.
Yeah,
I think he probably has some stuff. He probably eating folks too.
Well, I mean, again, like I said, that guy said that he M-worded him. So I don't know.
N-worded him. Oh, M-worded him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I
don't think the father did that though.
I don't put it past him though.
He did something.
It wouldn't shock me if that's true.
Something he had to. The daddy sound like he's
because his love for Jeffrey was just a little bit suspicious to me.
Really? I thought he was just a father that really loved him, but didn't know how to deal with a son. That was weird. Like, and the reason why I say that, because I think not to give you too much information, but I think of my son. My son is not the typical boy that's into sports and all this other stuff. My son at times has been antisocial. He has an IEP. And so as a mom, we think of our children like, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But I've had to change who I am as a parent in order to accommodate my son and support him in the best way that I can. So I would hate for my son to turn out like him, but for somebody to say, when I've tried to do everything that I can for my child, somebody says I'm molesting my child because I was just supporting him because he was different.
You just said all the words tonight, huh? You don't even care no more.
You said the R word and the M word.
I don't care. But I would hate for people to say that though, when I've tried to do everything that I can for my child, that is not like what traditional people expect him to be.
So let me tell you why I feel that way, because if you're smart enough to write the people while he's in jail to say that he needs, psychological help, you realize that when he gets out of jail that he didn't get it. Why did you not take him to go get that psychological help?
Exactly.
Because I feel like at that time in Wisconsin, people mental health, even in our community, who goes and gets mental health?
But you wrote the people while he was in jail for him to get it. So why would you not pursue that after he got him when you realized he didn't get it?
I think
something's wrong with him.
Like what the movie said, the father felt guilty for not talking to his child and really listening to him. The father and the mother were so caught up in their own lives, they didn't listen to their child. They abandoned their child. That's why now that all the shit has hit the fan, he wants him to get psychological help because he know he wasn't there for his child. I don't think it has anything to do with what he had did to him. I think it's the fact that he feels guilty that he wasn't there for him like he should have been. He didn't have those conversations with him like he should have had. That's
what
just
conversation. The conversation. I mean, but I don't know.
The conversation could have been why. Okay, if you with these bones crushing or if this, that, and the other, you looking for dead animals. Why are you doing that? Instead of ignoring it, ask him why. Why do you want to go find dead animals? Why do you like dissecting this? Do you want to be a scientist? It just seems like none of that was said. And a lot of it was brushed under the rug. To me, everything is not so sexual. I just think a lot of times when we don't communicate, a lot of stuff, things just go awry. I don't think he was that happened to him.
But he had a sex issue.
I think he had a sex issue because he was a gay man that was trying to hide his gayness, and he knew his father. He already had disappointed his father with what he was doing, and then to be gay. Just think about it. Think about it when when you feel a way
I
about
don't know if I
something,
want to say that he was gay though, because I don't feel like it was a gay thing.
you don't think it was a gay thing?
No, because everybody that he killed wasn't even gay.
I
So
feel like it was a sex
I
thing,
think
a
he had
control thing,
A sex addict?
a
yeah, I
sex
think he had
control type issue. I bet.
a control
I
thing.
think
Yeah,
he had abandonment issues. And I think that with him being gay, because it was not accepted, that was another issue in itself. And that was something that he was trying to hide. I don't think that his gayness or anything but y'all may know more than me. I don't know. But I don't think that his gayness or his compulsions or whatever he had, convulsions, had anything to do with him being emmed by his father. I just think that it was a situation where he was abandoned, and the sex and the way he met people was the only way that he knew that was the easiest for him to connect with people.
but even that guy, the last guy who got away, when he talked about his time in the house, he said it was never nothing sexual. He's like, Jeffrey didn't, like, even when he went to the bathroom, he said Jeffrey didn't even look at his penis or nothing. I was using it. He said they never had like a sex conversation at all. So I don't think that it was a gay thing. I think it was a control thing.
Yeah. And hey, Denise, this is my fellow Milwaukee person. She's from
Hey,
Milwaukee.
Denise.
Like she
Hey,
said,
Denise.
late, but glad for the discussion. I was still traumatized because when it went down, I realized that my son could be reported missing, would not be looked for. Is exactly because Denise, remember when all of this happened, they weren't caring. They made it seem like the black men were throwaway men. So Denise is exactly right. They would not look for us or look for black men. But what do y'all? We done talked a lot about this. I wanted to touch a little bit on Kim Burrell too, since that's a hot
Big
topic.
back Burrell.
Kim Burrell, like says Burrell. This was a good discussion about Jeffrey Dahmer.
I have really enjoyed talking about it because, again, I just think that because I think Sherelle, when I was on Sherelle's World, she was asking, should the family be able to sue to get compensation from this?
No.
And like, well, this is a part of history, to be honest. I
Right.
mean, that's like saying the people from slavery need to be getting a check every time they talk about the people from slavery. That doesn't make sense.
But they use the family statements in court.
Well,
public
because
record.
it's public information.
Well,
I don't know. I did like the lady that went off, the Isabel lady, the sister. Yeah, her scene was powerful. You got to see that, Lamar.
It's been a long time since you've done that, though. It's been a minute.
But you got to see that, Lamar, because that was powerful. She went off. She was like, "You think you're crazy? This is crazy." And she tried.
I want her to jump across the table though and like beat his ass.
Huh?
I want her to jump across the table and beat his ass though at the same time.
But they got her. But she said, I read a statement from her. She said after that happened, the police were very nice to her. They offered her a drink and different things to make sure she was okay.
Just wanted to.
I ain't drinking shit out of here because Jeffrey Dahmer's in here. I don't know what he done slid up in these glasses.
They should have negotiated some money out the deal. Like I would have been like, "Hey, y'all need me to tell y'all what happened."
Well, the 14-year-old's family, they got money.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah, they should be getting something. They should be getting something when it airs. They need to get agents. Shoot.
Because they kept suing, they kept trying to, but their cases never went through.
Right. Tanga Day said his father is key to his issues. Follow the father's overall relationship and how he made excuses. Right. Yeah. And I think most men, though, especially being dads, it's hard to say like, "Hey, it is my fault that I wasn't there." So.
Yep.
I didn't understand like when he kept messing up. Wow, it's like what all the stuff he's doing. You put him in the house with your mom,
right?
Like,
you know something wrong. You know when something wrong with your child.
Yeah, like I'm just like that didn't seem smart to me.
I think the father was trying to, like most men, and I hate to say this about y'all. A lot of times when you are done with the wife, you start this whole new family and you want to move on because the father remarried and was trying to move on with his life. So his son, he wasn't thinking about his son, that to me, that's not uncommon. It happens.
But you also think about me, and I'm not about to jeopardize my mother for my damn kid who's out of control.
I don't know.
I would never.
My ex-husband. My ex-husband was raised for the first years of his life by his father's mother until she passed away, and then the father finally got custody of my ex-husband and his sister. So it happens. Men.
But he wasn't out doing what Jeff Dahmer was doing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying from the history of what he had before he got to the grandmother's house, my option would not be to be at my mom's house. I'm sorry.
I feel like the dad and the mom were functioning crazy folks, for lack of a better term, and they did the best they could with the limited abilities that they had. And they created a monster, in my opinion.
Yeah. Denise said, my big brother is a jazz musician whose last name is Fudge. I had been planning a big event called Taste of Fudge, sponsored by Ambrosia, where Dahmer worked, and we canceled it. I bet.
Do you know they were saying that he was sprinkling those body parts in that chocolate at that job?
That is disgusting.
OMG. Tanga J said, why did he not want his brain examined? The mother seemed like she wanted answers. I think he didn't want his brain examined because, think about it, like with us, with Black folks, your family member and this person is sacred, so they're not a science project. So
he shouldn't be a scientist then.
Right,
scientist is
he doing science, but he don't want science done on his son.
Yeah.
Who that if something that could have helped people.
He was hiding something. I think he didn't want something to be uncovered. He probably already knew.
Really?
I always feel like something he was hiding something.
There's no way as a scientists are very unique people. They really get off on this figuring stuff out and how it works and research and all that. How would you just all of a sudden not want?
But
that's
I
a big old thing.
He was hiding things throughout the series. He hid the fact that his son was a weirdo. Like, he knew his son was weird. Like, his son should not have gone to the military. His son should not have gone to Ohio State. But he was trying to make his son be normal because of what he thought in his mind his son should be. So to me, it made sense when I watched it.
But the key thing that he also said was he was afraid of his son. Like, I can't forget that.
If you afraid of him, then hell, why are you allowing him to be around other people?
You afraid of him, but you move him. That's what your mom.
I really feel like he was living in denial.
Yeah. And was there other kids other than Jeffrey from that?
Just one other son who changed his name and does not want to be associated with his family.
Even though he did that, I think he still needs to be on watch.
Yep.
He might be fighting demons, fighting them off as long as he can, and all of a sudden he started doing something. Who knows?
Yeah. I love the dancing in the bars too. I love those scenes of the early 90s and what they said Milwaukee was. Denise, you're a little older than me, no shade, but at the time in the 90s, what were the clubs like? Because I just hear my mother. I lived in Milwaukee from age when I was born to 17, and then we moved to Maryland. That's actually where I ended up graduating from high school. But I just remember my mother going out, and she made the bar scene sound so fun. I did not know that there was a gay scene. My family never talked about the gay scene. So Denise, with you being, it sounds like you might have been an adult in the 90s. What was it like?
You can openly use that booger sugar. Everybody was doing it.
OMG.
That's what I heard.
Wisconsin was very conservative though, but even though I know people was doing stuff then though too, but I'll just say this: it wasn't like New York Studio 54, from my understanding.
That was a good time right there. That was a party.
And I think they didn't want to say that he had mental issues because he was a white man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they said there was some a psychotic. There was 3 of them there. One of them said that he was psychotic. The other 2 said he wasn't. But the one who said he was a newer. I think he was like he had just graduated and diagnosed with that. The other people, which even make me even feel that way even more, because they're probably older white men who did not want to say this white guy was psychotic.
And they didn't give a damn because most of his victim was black, so they were like,
yeah,
just doing what we do.
No, they didn't care because they like I said, when they presented it to us, it was throwaway victim. She said I was in my 40s and I party my black ass off.
I know that's right.
Hey, Red Label, good to see you.
Hey.
What's up, man?
I'm seeing her up here.
At the same time. Hold on. It's about to pop off.
But I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna take myself off for a second. But can you? One of y'all read Tanga J's comment?
Yeah, I'll read it. The father was the problem. After that brain dissection could trace a hereditary abnormality, and the father wanted that kept secret. Yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that, and I think that it was something that he was trying to hide. I think that the father was one of the biggest problems in this story. I think he wanted to make money off of it, and I feel like when we talk about money grabs on YouTube, that was a money grab for him. That's why he was upset when they did not let him write that book.
I agree, Tanga. Sorry. Yeah. What Tanga's saying make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. A normal person wouldn't have thought that deep. Like a person other than a scientist wouldn't have been trying to hide that, but he knew that they could trace that.
Right. And I would have just been like, I mean, to me, I would have wanted to know, for my own peace.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was something really wrong? Was it not my fault?
Yep, because they're going to start looking at him.
Yeah.
You'll cover something, what's going on with him, then all of a sudden be like, all right, Dad, this is hereditary. We got to check you out.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, we need to watch you.
Now, I can agree with that because if y'all watch the series and the father in real life, he did kind of act like everything was his fault. Mm-hmm. So he probably did feel like that it would trace back to him.
Yep.
But blamed the mother. He blamed the mother the most of the time.
Yeah. He blamed the mother I definitely felt like he was overcompensating and trying to say she was on all these medications. She did this, that, and the other, but he never talked about himself because he knew that Jeffrey was most like him.
And that's what because she kept on saying, you're the one who was taking around dissecting these animals. Because she was like, you're the reason why he was doing all this stuff, right? And he was like, let's not. He was irritated with her, but the reality is that man played a big part into why he was like that. Because one, you showed him this, then you abandoned him, then you pawned him off to all these other places. You pawned him off in the military, you pawned him off at Ohio State, you pawned him off. He went to jail. Then you pawned him off at your mom's house. Like he just kept putting him everywhere besides doing nothing.
Good, right, Tan.
I was gonna say, Red Label. What are your thoughts? And Tanga J, she's on point tonight.
Just the whole. I mean, I think it's great that. I mean, how many Dahmer movies are there out there, right? Mm-hmm. It's nothing new. It's just the same shit, different people playing the cast, right? So for people to be outraged and wanting to boycott and this, that, and the black people, it's just been a lot. I'm like, this isn't new. I think it brings awareness to a situation and it brings history to this. It shines a light on the history of it for the people who do not know the story and they're having this shock and awe moment. But that whole family was fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole entire family.
They were saying the reason why people are traumatized from this is because the characters kind of represented the actual people the most out of anything that they've watched.
And I've never seen any of the old ones.
Me either.
I've ever seen.
I never.
I couldn't finish them.
They were saying that this guy who played Jeffrey Dahmer, he looks like almost just like him. So that's why the people who had went through it was saying it was traumatizing them because they were like, it's almost like watching him redo all this stuff again.
That's as a screenwriter, I like the fact that they did it. I like that it's getting the viewership that it's getting. I think that's
what's fascinating to me is like the people online that's saying like Jeffrey Dahmer can get it. I'm just like,
they crazy.
But this is probably what I've been saying throughout the internet in this conversation. It shows another time that our justice system failed us as Black people, period.
Yeah.
And that's why people are upset about it, because they don't want to see the justice system fail Black people not another time. So now here we are, We had white people fantasizing about this man that he
Mhm.
would have never even touched. And then they also showed that they did not care about these people that he was doing it to. He lived in a neighborhood where they didn't give a damn. They had women who were calling multiple times about what's going on, and they ignored it all this time. The
Black
cops
women.
who took that little boy back there, they got suspended with pay, and they gave them their jobs back. Like it was like it never even happened.
No, that's
Right.
crazy. Eating people.
Right.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Martin did stand up. Martin Lawrence did stand up about it, saying he had asses in the free refrigerator.
Yeah, he did. It's crazy.
But that was hilarious. But it's just so outrageous that all of this occurred, and it's crazy. This happened almost 30 years ago, and well, actually 30 years ago it did happen, and so it's still outrageous today. And I don't think people at that time thought we'd still be talking about it now.
But I think it's a good conversation to have, honestly, because it things have to get better at some point. And I think right now they're having a conversation about reparations and things like that. And so it just kind of goes hand in hand with the important conversation of what it looks like for us to even get any of that stuff. Like, we don't want to have another situation like this. We don't want to be ignored by cops. We don't want to be killed by them. We don't want to not feel like we're protected by where we freaking live at. And this is the prime example of what it looks like.
Yep. What you say, Q?
Are they really protecting us though? Let's just be honest. Are they really protecting us? There's no protection there. Their job is to serve and protect, and they are serving and protecting the people who do not look like us. So that's a whole nother conversation within itself. Reparations, good luck with that. They can easily give reparations to the Jewish, the Japanese, and the Pacific Americans, Islanders, and we are on the bottom of the totem pole. I'll still wait for that. I don't understand what people's issue is with them doing that. But this is America, and until America acknowledges its original sin, it ain't happening.
Right. I agree.
Not happening at all. They're not even gonna try.
It's bad enough they want to not talk about it in schools, get rid of the books that talk about it. They just want to erase it in its entirety. And so here we are.
Mm-hmm. They don't even want to try to figure out who gets it and who don't. They screwed so many black women. Yeah, figure out who do the mixed folks get it?
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I won't hold my breath.
What'd you say, Lamar? You said who the mixed folks get it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Will they give it to the folks that's mixed?
Well,
we all mixed.
This is true.
Moving on from Dahmer, because I didn't expect to talk about this as long as we did.
I'm shocked.
That's why I was like, I was like, let me not call it, because I'll be going on a rant. Like I said, I went down the rabbit hole with this. I watched stuff about it today. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that. I just want to see all of it because it's just interesting to me to just see like the mentality and what really happened versus what we were watching on these documentaries where they fabricate things. Like, I just like to hear the full stuff. So I've been excited about talking about it.
Ooh, and can y'all answer Tanga J's question?
On a sober note, is everyone that live amongst us human? What?
I hope so. I hope they are. I mean, if they not,
I don't think so. No.
No,
I don't think
no as well.
Especially with everything that we see, when I look at the Shade Room, I look at different things like Facebook, all of that. Those people don't seem human to me. People just seem so heartless. And look at YouTube. Me and Q though, and so there people get dragged every day, and it's like you can't be human. You can't have feelings if you're dragging children and black women and just people in general. And
I personally do not consider myself to be human.
Oh Lord,
what species?
I am a spiritual being. I am an observant of humanity.
May the force be with you.
Sounds
Thank
like
you. And what
like
I have
Scientology.
judged and witnessed from humanity, I do not agree with.
Q, that sounds like Scientology.
No, I am not that either. My last 2 psychics told me I am the Prince of God, so we're gonna go with that.
Oh wow!
So you Jesus?
No, I am the Prince of God.
Isn't that Jesus?
That's the
No.
Son of God.
I am the Prince of God.
The prince is the son of God. Wouldn't the prince be the son of God?
Is he the king?
It says he's the king of all kings.
But is he? Or is that what they want you to believe?
Don't ask me these questions.
Moving on.
Where you plan on going to heaven?
Hello, humanity. Well, I know I'm not going to the 5th realm of hell.
Is there a hell?
I don't believe there's one.
I don't either.
I believe this is hell and we torture ourselves within this plane.
I think this is the closest thing we're going to get to hell.
I like that. That sounds good to me.
I mean,
However,
if we're believing what the Bible says, I mean, it says that Jesus.
Now, which Bible are you referring to?
I'm just about the ones that the Christians that they taught us growing up.
King James, New International.
Well, these Christians white folk.
Yep.
Oh,
I hope.
I don't know. They Jesus.
I'm not getting into religion.
I am not taking anything the colonizers has told us to believe to change who we are as people. Sorry.
I like to keep those things personal.
Next question.
I'm trying to pull you in, dear. I was trying to pull you in.
I know Candace wanted to talk about Big Back Burrell, so let's go to church.
Not Big Back Burrell.
Kimberly Burrell.
Now, what's going on with her and Yolanda? That's what I want to know, or what she wants to start with Yolanda.
She has an art against her sister.
She went on to Tamara Hall. I guess Tamara Hall was supposed to be giving her some time to express her feelings or something, I guess, but she didn't know she was talking about Yolanda Adams. Right. And I guess when she said that when she made her last F up, that she wished that Yolanda Adams would have called her and said, sis, not but so dead with my pastor.
Pass that collection plate.
You take a offer real quick there.
But she said that she wished that Yolanda would have called her and said, hey, sis, I know what's going through, but I got to go a different direction. I'm like, bitch, did you call her and say you said that you was going to do the shit that you just did? Like, why does she have to call you to tell you what she's going to do, but you don't call her and tell her you have to make a disaster of yourself?
Right. Always. I think her career is her career over or no?
It's been over. She keeps coming back, and I don't know why they keep interviewing her.
I can't believe people paying her to come to their church to speak or sing.
I can't either. I don't understand it. I was on a channel the other day, and somebody asked, does anybody even know a Kim Burrell song?
I can't name one.
And nobody could answer that.
You think other people's songs. And she does. I can't think of that now Kim Burrell song. I
asked my channel yesterday. Nobody could answer it. Nobody's been able to answer the question.
Mm-mm. Only one person was able to answer. It was Larry Reid.
Larry Reid?
Larry Reid was able to because he's a fan of hers.
Oh.
He named like 4 or 5 songs, and I was like, Larry, I ain't never heard now one of them songs that you named.
I don't know a Kim Burrell song.
I ain't gonna lie.
I know she has a good voice. She could do.
Working for Your Good. That's one of them. And then there was like.
And I'm a Kim Burrell fan, and I like Sweeter. I like a lot of her music.
Any of them play on the radio?
She had I See a Victory, and what was that movie with Taraji, the astronaut shit?
Isn't that the one they took her off of?
Hidden Figure. Hidden Figures with her and Octavia. Kim Burrell had a song on that soundtrack.
Didn't they take her off of that?
Did they? I thought she was on it.
No, that's the one she was supposed to be doing the interview on Ellen. They took her off because of her homophobic
She talked
slurs.
crazy. Yeah.
No, I don't.
But you better take that back because she's not on that no more.
Oh, she ain't on that shit. Then never mind. I retract my statement.
But she'll never be on Yolanda Adams level.
Ever.
Yolanda goes to the White House every year almost to sing. She get invited to all them concerts Obama and them had.
And Yolanda is not the nicest person either, but she don't go on and make a disaster out of herself on national television.
Now, I've heard that from other people in the realm that she's not the nicest person.
She's not. I've met Yolanda Adams multiple times. She's not a nice person.
But got attitude issues.
But you can't get to where you are and where you're at being too nice.
But y'all don't remember that Kim Burrell song, Every Day is Sweeter, Sweeter?
Never heard of it.
I like Kim Burrell.
I feel like you wouldn't look up the words to that song.
I did not. I know Kim Burrell.
Cheryl.
Lamar knows, because remember Lamar, she was on my top 5 top singers.
Oh my God, yes it was. Oh my God,
I'm a big Kim Burrell
Not
fan.
a never to return. Back the hell.
And all right, good night.
All right, Tanga.
Tanga J, thank you for joining. I enjoyed your comments tonight.
Yeah, you brought some good stuff.
Yeah.
On tonight.
Going to Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, Liberian Cayenne Pepper. I can't even say it. Liberian Cayenne Pepper. Said I got a NTR from hell, never to return. What are you talking about, Cheryl?
Is that a Kim Burrell song?
She's saying she been in hell and she can't go back. She got never to return.
She got kicked out.
She bust hell wide open.
See,
Is that a Kim Burrell song
too?
Huh?
Sweeter.
I heard Sweeter Than the Honey on the Honeycomb. That's John P. Key. I never heard that.
Kim Burrell for Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Log off, Young Rich.
Ooh, that'd be hilarious. She had to run a house.
You all know what show I missed that I think they should bring back, even though it just ended like 2 years ago?
What?
Greenleaf.
Me too. I agree 100%. They should.
Yes, I love Greenleaf.
But they didn't let me write it. They need to.
And Sweeter is old. It came out like 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago.
Greenleaf is the Jakes.
Oh, yeah. I felt like Greenleaf was TD Jakes too.
Definitely now with all that's going on.
Yeah. Yes. Who did he turn his
voice though?
Huh? What'd you say?
Voice. I don't know none of her songs.
Yeah, she can sing. I ain't gonna take that away from her. She can sing. She knows how to do the vocal acrobatics and all that mess she be doing. That sounds good. But
she's a jazzy gospel singer.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love her. And she used to help with Sunday Best.
Yeah.
And the contestants hated her.
But I'll say this. It was Lynn Lamar, I don't know if I knew you at this time. So about maybe 14 or 15 years ago, I'm going on another soapbox. 14 or 15 years ago, I had lost my job, lost my car. Actually, I did know Lamar because Lamar was there when my car got taken away from the job. I ended up losing my job in my apartment. And Kim Burrell was on, remember, what's that Christian station? I forgot what it is. TBN. Kim Burrell was on TBN with Kirk Franklin, and she sang Grateful by, what is that? Who sings Grateful?
Grateful, that one.
Yeah, great. God has not promised me sunshine, that song. But I'm grateful. Walter Hawkins.
Come on, vocals.
Don't give them no more.
Yeah,
put us at E flat.
Yeah, Kim Burrell has sang Grateful by Walter Hawkins and Tremaine Hawkins, and she said that basically it's not always going to be happy. Sometimes it's going to be rain. And that especially when I was deep into the church, because I'm not as into the church as I once was, but that helped me get through that time of my life when I was going through so much. And that was the most genuine Kim Burrell I had ever seen. I don't know what Kim Burrell is going through right now, where she just comes off so bitter and so mad at everybody. But at that time, I don't know if she was happy. This was before the small Kim Burrell, because remember, she used to be bigger than what she is now, weight-wise.
Maybe she needed a man or something.
But she had sang Grateful.
Sometimes she married a gay man.
No, I don't think she married a gay man. I ain't heard that.
I believe she married. There was someone about her. I'm looking up on my laptop. I think she get married like a gay man or something.
She sang Grateful, and that ministered to me. It was very anointing, and it helped me get through that time. It was her and what's the other man that got the church in Houston? Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen, he made you happy.
Joel Osteen. I watched his sermon talking about we're not buried by our situations, and that we will always, this too shall pass, basically. So for that moment with Kim Burrell and him, I will always be grateful. And I'm a person that believes in this. These people that I know God says, touch not my anointing, do my prophet. My anointing or whatever. And I know people put them on a pedestal, but I know, because I'm a PK, I know that these people are human. So I'm always going to hear the word. I'm not looking at the person. I'm listening to the word, because regardless of what this person is doing, the word is going to always be real. It's the word never changes. And so that stood out to me. I know I went on a soapbox, but that helped me get through that time of my life when I thought I had lost everything and people had turned their backs on me. And
you can't preach on it. You can't preach on it.
But Kim Burrell helped me in that moment. Her voice ministered to me, and I will be forever grateful to that. Now, like I said, I don't know what she's going through, but I hate the season that she's in right now. She, the time that she was talking about with Yolanda Adams was when she made the remarks about gay people and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But I mean, y'all know the church. The church, what Kim Burrell said is not different from what the church says. But she said it on the mainstream, and a lot of people that was supporting her, like Ellen DeGeneres and other people, turned their backs on her. But she was speaking what they preach in church, which is they say the word. So I didn't turn my back on her. I just knew that maybe she wasn't delivered at that time. And
but she's always been this way. I mean, I think it's just a different point of view. Like a lot of the stuff that's taught in church could never be mainstream because it wouldn't be accepted. Like even just talking about homosexuality, the church condemns a whole lot of stuff. But they will accept homosexuals to work in the church, and they can be homosexuals. You can't tell nobody. So a lot of the stuff that,
and our lovely accompaniment is by Maurice on piano and our choir director.
So you just can't. So a lot of the church stuff that I don't believe in, a lot of people don't believe in, mainstream don't believe in. They can't come out and start saying this stuff on mainstream because we don't care for it. Keep that on in the church, the cult, because it's old school. Terry Hong can be the new Oprah.
I think with the church and what's going on, because now we're going into the church hurt. I think a lot of people listen to these scriptures and all that other stuff, but they don't really read the Bible for themselves. They don't read the true word. And so
we about to get in the church hurt.
I can't relate. I ain't got no church hurt.
Now, Q, you don't got no church hurt?
I do not.
You grew up Catholic?
I grew up Islamic and Catholic. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh my!
That shut me the hell up.
You definitely ain't doing nothing. I grew up apostolic.
I grew up apostolic in Holiness Church. I'm Kojic, Church of God in Christ. That's the church.
Marcel Williams is on his deathbed.
What?
Ooh.
So his breast cancer came back.
Breast cancer.
He had breast cancer. He was the only man that I knew that had ever had.
Matthew Knowles had breast cancer.
Oh.
Ooh, people just died. They ain't never died before.
Oh, here you go, Trump. And Young Rich, I'm eating some scrambled eggs.
Is it wrong
with Waffle House?
Is it wrong if I get
scrambled eggs?
Candace, is it wrong if I get a flyer together right now?
Where does he see that? I'm on Google. I don't see nothing about that.
Is it wrong if I go ahead and get a Montel flyer up together right now?
I don't know. I ain't wishing death on
I'm on Google. I don't see nothing about Montel Williams on his death day.
Okay.
And hey, it's just D. Good to see you.
Hey, it's just D.
Hey, it's just D.
Christmas church hurt. I've been there.
How is Montel Jordan dying when he said his ass was revealed as
Montel Williams?
Because I'm looking at Montel Jordan. He's on the Masked Singer.
Let me go back to the comment. Montel Williams.
Yeah, I just looked it up on Google. I don't see nothing.
I've been drinking.
Montel Williams, not Jordan. Ray one said Trump was a good guy. Okay, Ray one. So let us say hello to our white friends.
You said it was, so it could be at any. It could have been for 10 seconds. Sometime when he was a kid. It's on
better
YouTube.
than Biden. So Ray one clearly. Where are my mods?
Wants to talk. Ray one wants to talk politics. You can't be a good person. And
I don't
think that Trump is a good
Ray
person.
one. I usually don't talk politics on my show, so we'll see. We'll let this ride. I'm gonna see what you say. And if you get
Nihar, how the hell can I be raised Catholic and Muslim? Because my dad is Black and Italian and my mom is French Moroccan.
Ray once said he voted Trump. I think Lamar, you voted for Trump too. Lamar
I did vote for Trump the first time.
So yeah, I can see some people.
No comment.
Trump.
I am a conservative.
I'm gonna mute myself for a little while.
Social liberal. All the Democrats are crooks, just like the Republicans are. But Trump was better for my pocketbook the first go around.
Amen. But I'm gonna be quiet.
And Nihar said, "How the hell you can be raised Catholic and Muslim? You Lebanese?"
I just explained that.
Ray
I don't.
Ray looking for a fight.
Ray one. I voted for Biden. I voted for Barack. At one time I was a true Democrat. I'm now independent.
Me too.
But yeah, Lamar, my best friend that you see on here with the glasses. He was.
We know. He's your best friend.
Yes. And
hate. No.
Don't hate.
Sing it to the masses.
Don't hate. I met Lamar, and so Deb, in real life, I still have yet to meet you, Q.
This is why Lamar has all these troll pages from YouTube up on his channel because of your ass keeping announcing he's your best friend.
No, Lamar does not have troll pages. I'm not going to let you say that about my best friend.
I didn't say he has troll pages. We know what troll pages I'm talking about.
Oh, and thank you, Popcorn, for the super sticker.
Hey, Popcorn.
Oh shoot, Nihar is on one. She said, "Ray one, fuck you, you made me."
I'm waiting on it.
Yes, Lamar one time was a Trump supporter. He tried to make me take a quiz and show me that I was Republican, and it came out I was a Democrat. But no, I'm independent now. Politics is a slippery slope. I don't like talking about it on my channel. I like keeping it lighthearted because at times
nothing will ever be accomplished because it's a failed system.
That's why I got quiet.
They built this country on two systems,
and
two parties that will never agree on shit.
And two parties that use us as black.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So yeah.
Yes.
But yes, I did the first time. Second time I didn't. I didn't vote for nobody the second go around because they all suck.
Yes.
Now everybody knew I voted for Trump the first time go around because I said.
Oh, you say you did? Q?
I did. I go back to some lives months ago. I said where I voted for Trump.
Most business owners did. It was smart business.
Oh,
and now do I regret it? Hell to the yeah, because
absolutely not. Mad.
You heard about the let loose on you.
So my opinion on Trump, I don't think he's better than Biden. I will say this about Biden though, the jury is still out for me. I voted for Biden, but
Biden sucks.
Yeah, and I'm just being honest. things that I hope would happen.
Y'all don't like that tuition forgiveness? Take away them student
well,
loans.
it's like 5 or 6 states suing for that, and then they changed it. For me with Biden,
He old.
That's the problem. I think it's his age. He's too old. And I thought Kamala Harris would step up more, but where the hell is Kamala?
It's like she just disappeared.
Like trying to find Carmen Sandiego. Can't nobody find her.
They set her up for failure. I like that first.
This no doubt reminds me of my ex-husband. So now I'm starting to think you're a troll. Because oh shoot, don't get me on that. Like this is my ex-husband.
They set her up for failure, and now she's stuck on stupid.
I really wish that AOC was old enough to run.
Too far left.
I would love to see her on a ticket with Beto or Buttigieg.
I thought it was Buttigieg. Why are y'all saying
it's Buttigieg? Where do you get Buttigieg from?
I thought it was Buttigieg.
It's Buttigieg.
I don't like that Buttigieg.
What's her name? AOC. What's her last name?
Alexandria Cortez.
Buttigieg Cortez ticket.
Yeah.
Raymond said Trump did it very good. I don't think Trump did very good. I think Trump, what is this? I think it was the results of Biden. I mean, not Biden, Obama.
But
so
Trump didn't do shit, but had a lot of shit that's coming to light, and there's all saying the problems of the money that was stolen and misplaced and all this other shit.
Trump didn't do not a thing. It was the Conservative Party policies that were good for the economy, in my opinion.
I agree with Denise. Biden should have came out the gate basically with the student loan and debt stuff.
But I think it takes time, though. Like, I don't think that he could have came out of the gate with that. I think
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit because when it comes to Republican and agendas and funding shit, they never have an issue. But when it comes to a Democrat, where's the money going to come from? How are we going to fight for this? How are we going to do this?
They don't have the same battle.
Nihar said Kamala is everywhere. The media is just not covering it. She's more out there than Pence and Cheney.
Yep, she did just say we was partnered up with
Kamala
North Korea.
She got elected into the damn office.
She said we was partnered up with North Korea on her last time she was out. She meant South Korea.
If Cheney ran, she would get my vote. The end.
He would get your vote. He would get your vote, Cheney.
No, she's talking about the daughter.
Cheney.
He's talking about the daughter.
Oh, the daughter. I don't know. I don't know who I like. Who I want to run.
If I could get Liz Cheney and Buttigieg on a ticket, that'll be my dream team.
If I could have got Michelle Obama to run, that would be my vote.
She ain't interested at all.
She ain't interested, not one bit.
And Young Rich said Kaya would be a better president than both.
Yeah, they both in their 70s. Like, come on, y'all. Whose grandparent? None of my grandparents will be qualified and have the mental capacity to make the decisions for the world. Heck no. Yeah. Go sit down somewhere. And the fact that Biden,
Obama,
the fact that Biden has been in there so long, for him to say that he can't get stuff done, it takes too long. That I don't buy it, like you said, because he's been in there for 40, 50 years. He know how it works. He know what he needed to do to get it work. So when he ran, he did a whole lot of lying. He knew what he could do and couldn't do. But he lied and said he could do stuff to get black votes.
I'd like to implement term limits on these congressional seats.
Yes.
Because a lot of them are just holding or bench warming for checks and slowing up and tying up and stopping democracy.
I'm going to do my hookah for a second, but I say Stacey Abrams for president.
She should have been vice president in the first damn place, in my opinion.
I thought, is Atlanta still liking her? Is Georgia still liking her? I heard she was not getting polling very well in Georgia.
We do like her here.
Where Keisha at? Where Keisha? Where's Ms. Lance Bottom?
She ain't there no more. Keisha, people lost Keisha. Let me turn on my camera. Keisha lost us when them kids, it was some young kids from HBCU here, were stopped by the police and manhandled and racially profiled and all that.
Let's rewind it back to the beginning of the whole situation because I made a video about it. I might unlock the shit on my damn channel. But when she did that, it was the worst shit that was ever happened, because she went on and she said, as long as they are peacefully protesting, don't bother them. And so the news was out there. They were like, it's so peaceful, whatever she asked for, they're doing it. Like, it was so much good reports. Then all of a sudden she came out with this curfew, and the cops was out there with them fucking, I mean, excuse my language, but them shields and all them pellet guns. And I think whatever the time was that she gave, they went in and they started pushing people down. They was flipping old people over. They was doing all kind of stuff. Yeah. Then them kids was going down the street trying to get home because they had to get home from the curfew. And them cops dragged them black kids out of that car. And people were like, they didn't understand why the cops were doing that, because they were going home like she asked them to do. And she never made a statement after that. She went on talking about, go home. My son has to be at home. Go home. Killer Mike owns this. He owns this. Go home. And we're like, girl, the stuff that they're tearing up is not what Killer Mike and T.I. own. So what are you even talking about?
Can I address Ray? Ray said black people wake up. Ray, I think black people have waken up. Most black people you talk to that are intelligent don't say they're Democrat no more anyway. They say they're independent. And they're individual thinking. They think what's best for them. They're not just voting straight tickets. I don't think. They're not saying they are anyway. Yeah, but I think we've definitely changed.
I was going to say, as a college-educated black woman, I was once a registered Democrat, but now I'm independent, so I vote whatever I believe in at that time. So it could be Republican or Democratic or independent. I'm voting with what works for me.
Young Rich, that shit took me out. Like, wake up. Like, I was like, wait one.
I love me some Nihar. She said, at the candy shop, black men and Hispanics will be the death of black people. When Lil Bougie put on a MAGA hat, it was a wrap. Unfortunately, my brothers ain't like ASAP.
I mean, we have to be free to. People still have to be free to choose what they want. Everyone's situation isn't the same. All black people don't think that all Republicans are. Popcorn is addressing
Popcorn
me.
says she's a Democrat. Yeah, Popcorn. I can't rise with the Democrats either. Like I said, it's some things that I've seen. Yeah, I'm independent now.
I don't see how anybody, not to take away your intelligence.
Yeah,
but I don't see how anybody can just choose. It's weird to say all Democrats are great and all Republicans are great and do a straight ticket, because it's not the case. A lot of them are doing horrible things and making horrible decisions.
For me, it depends on the issues. I don't need them making abortion and women's rights and things. I don't need that to be a political ticket. It's just keep your personal stuff out of politics, keep religion out of politics. Let's focus on what we can do to unify as a country, to build this country up. Stay out of women's bodies. Right. Stop. It's just so much. And then it's the rhetoric for me. And there's a lot of flip-flopping, and the things that they stand against are usually the issues they get caught doing.
Absolutely.
I agree. And I feel like both parties use us as tools to get somewhere. And I feel like I've been let down by both parties. So that's why I'm independent. And when I say independent, I vote for how I feel when it comes to, like I said, laws and things. Because not only do I vote in the presidential race, but I vote in the locality. The local races, all of that. So
what's your policy?
Now, Ray, when you said you were Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ, now is that white Jesus or is that black Jesus or brown Jesus?
Well,
Chi-Town.
This can't be my ex-husband because my ex-husband was Muslim.
But what's going on in your chat is what I'm trying to understand.
I know.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out.
It's
too.
like I felt like now, Ray,
is that white Jesus, brown Jesus, or black Jesus? Which one you believe in?
Popcorn said she was out. She was like,
I know. It's like Chris Maxwell is going at. It's like it's people going at it in your chat.
And it should be out of politics because it's none of our damn business what a woman does or what a family does moving in. Not Vanilla Jesus. Vanilla Jesus can't take that goddamn Middle East heat.
Nihar, don't tear us up.
Don't please let us make it.
Wasn't no SPF 25, 50, 75, or 100 back then. Ain't no damn Vanilla Jesus.
What he over in Africa or the Middle East anyway? Supposedly, it's hot as hell over there.
Denise, I like Denise. Denise reminds me. We being from Milwaukee, we think alike. I used to be a very left Democrat as well, but she said,
way left. Oh, you like Bernie Sanders?
Yes,
and
I was too at one time.
So you believe in us all sharing the wealth, and that me and Q and Candace and so that we all need to give a little bit of our salary around everybody else. That's what you believe to make it fair for everybody.
Don't put me in this. I get none of my views on nothing. Don't put me in nothing.
I ain't giving out I ain't giving out nothing.
I hate giving out tips when I got to go pick up my food that I ordered that they don't deliver. I have to go pick up and they still ask for a damn tip. I hate doing that.
Right, it's on me if I want to. I don't believe in sharing the wealth like Obama kept talking about. I work hard.
Yes, and Chris Maxwell, I know you are a cool person. I love you, so please stay. I don't know what's going on with Chris Maxwell, but
we got to be able to have conversations about these important things without people being flustered.
There's 3 or 4 conversations going on. I don't know what's going on.
I can't even see them.
Can we refrain for such?
It's war in your chat. That's why you shouldn't talk about politics.
It's and that's why I don't think that's why it always will be a problem. We can never talk about stuff that's important.
Let's dream more than likely because I've seen some of the.
That's a dream.
What is the
AOC?
My God.
They hate her so much, but yet they fantasize about R-wording her and putting her in cosplay in these very political, weird situations sexually.
Who is AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Come on now.
Other color.
New York Congresswoman.
I know who she is, but why is she a cracker dream?
That sounds so funny.
Don't laugh.
Because they fantasize over her.
Right, Javier. Socialism for everybody. Everybody going to give half of your money now to somebody poor in your family.
I need a damn refill. I need to go downstairs. I'll be back.
Who getting ready to be our senator? Herschel Walker? Not mine. I ain't in Georgia.
Not gonna be the senator here. I voted for Warnock. I voted for Warnock before.
I'm in Texas.
I'm voting for Warnock.
I gotta deal with legs. What's his name? I forgot. I can't think of his name. Abbott.
Oh.
I'm a Democrat, but I always go straight down the ticket. Right on, Tori.
Yeah. Or yours because I don't have any more eggs. What's going on? AOC is pretty. I thought you were trying to say pretty. She really ain't. What is going on?
I'm crazy. This is going crazy.
Do we have a troll in the chat? The cake was a typo. I voted for her. How did you vote?
Now, I will say this. You cannot be an intelligent person if you voted for her. I don't care how amazing his policies are. To listen to him talk and to vote for him to be in charge of anything or represent anybody, something's wrong with you.
I'm in PA and have to try and get rid of Dr. Oz. Crazy. Dr. Oz is running.
Yes, he's about dumb as Herschel Walker is.
These panelists maggot. We don't like Trump. Nihar, what are you talking about? I'm getting ready to I'm not a Trump supporter, Nihar.
Neither am I.
So, hold on now.
But I'm fair. I like to give people a chance to show me what they can do. So the initial time, I did vote for him because his policies represented what my pocketbook. And then when he showed me he was an idiot outside of his policies, I said, no, I won't vote for him again.
That man is smart. Who?
He definitely a troll. You saying that.
And I'm back.
I don't know who that is. Let me go do my hookah because this is getting out of control.
What I miss?
He got real exciting. And most of y'all's favorite celebrities are undercover Republicans because they want their pocketbook to stay intact. They'll never say it because they don't want to lose y'all votes. Y'all's money.
Who would vote for Dr. Oz in the first place is what I want.
Right. Isn't that crazy? I ain't understand.
But I said that shit about Trump too. That's a whole different story.
It's going. I'm glad I got my wine shipped me yesterday. And I didn't know Javier was still in the comment. What's going on, Javier? Javier is very strong political foe, if you will.
Javier is an atheist conservative.
Wait, say that again.
He's an atheist and he's conservative. That's what Javier is.
Okay.
Ray once said Hershey gives his woman a chance to speak. Okay, we're moving on.
They got to do it now.
Exactly. Toria said, if you show me who you are the first time, I believe you. Trump showed me how damn dumb he was when he came down that escalator. Exactly. Did y'all see Antonio Brown? No, I didn't see Antonio Brown.
Yes, I seen him. I did a video on him.
What happened?
He in Dubai at a hotel with a white gal.
With some clear woman.
Yep, and he keep dunking her in the pool, and then he's they on the edge of the pool. He he's naked, and he keep putting his booty in her face, and then he seen that. And then he pulled his thing out and waved it at her. So that's what.
Yeah, I seen that. Yes,
he got mental issues.
What is going on?
He got mental issues.
Well, I think we're gonna end it on Antonio Brown.
We just got here.
This was a good show.
He was wilding out in that pool, though.
He was dunking the mess out of that woman.
He sure was. He pulled her back on him. Somebody was saying it was SA.
Make sure you guys go to Lamb Levity. Lamb has like a whole, and I'm calling you Lamb. I never called Lamar Lamb.
Right, you showed up.
Lamar has a whole gang of channels. The TFG network, that's where I got my start. And then I went rogue and started my channel. I started my channel, but I presented to him that this could be a channel under TFG, but he was like, hell no. But we managed to come back together. So make sure you guys support his channel. Oh, let me see. They going off in the comments. Nihar said Dim's better than always on camera. First black Dim to be Dim from CN to Congress. Lauren Underwood, first black to be elected in the red district twice, and the second youngest member Congress. Okay. All right, Nihar.
Is Lauren Underwood the one that was twerking?
Blake, I hope she's
at
not.
The
Blake
beach. I think I remember seeing that.
Can we call AB a psychopath? Yes, Antonio Brown is a psychopath.
He's something.
Ray One said, when I saw Mr. Trump coming down the escalator in Victor, I voted for him. Okay, Ray One. So you're a troll.
All right.
It was high too.
You're going to
jail. Thank you, Victoria. And China said, lamb.
That's how.
Yes. Sharice Davies, first indigenous to be elected to Congress. Yes. No, I still support I'm more Democratic than Republican, but of course I'm, like I said, independent. So I definitely stand for those women that are in politics. A cousin of mine was a part of the Black National Caucus as well. So we
need a new party. I need a party where I can vote for social issues as relates to gay rights, black rights, woman rights, and also and keep my money intact.
Yeah, I'm still very liberal. So I'm a liberal. Can an independent be liberal? Because I'm a liberal independent.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fiscal conservative, social liberal. That's how it is. Because I just got this money.
Yes, fun. Any final thoughts from y'all?
The next time, I think you should not name your live a quick chat because you don't go over 2 hours.
And who is Lou?
He trying to say LOL. Am I gay because I support gay rights? Is that what you're asking me? No, I don't identify as gay, but I do support gay rights.
What's LOL?
He said Lou again. So I was like, who is Lou?
Maybe he's calling me Lou.
Skip to my Lou.
Somebody, can I say the R word? Retarded. Sorry.
Yeah, Ray one was a troll. He said, yeah, are you gay? I'm asking you.
Yeah, I answered it. Asked and answered.
Loop. Now it's saying loop. Then it said Lou again.
Great one.
You typing too
Woo,
fast.
Lord, what is happening over here? What are mods at? Oh wait, we're up here on the panel.
So Ray won.
They saying loopity loo.
Like I said, we are liberals here. In Chi-Town will handle it. I love Miss Chi-Town. She's gonna get them all the way together. So, any final comments from any of y'all? This was so fun. I loved it.
It was fun.
Got super exciting.
I enjoyed it till you got to politics.
What an after party at? Because I'm just getting turned up and my drink is kicked in. Where we going? Where we going?
I don't know who's going live.
Not him shooting his shot at Lamar.
Boy, you about to get some DMs tonight.
I might be what that stock portfolio looked like. I'll pretend.
Right. I have questions.
Let's compare portfolios.
I'm a liberal, not progressive. I'm too broke not to be pragmatic. Nihar, we gotta have you come up.
Right on. It's something
I would love to see Nihar on a panel.
I would love to see Nihar on a panel too, because I know,
me too.
Maxwell, is Maxwell a liberal or a conservative?
Maxwell's out of here.
Yeah, he said he's out of here. I'm so sorry, Chris Maxwell. I enjoyed you.
He was in a battle for his life, and y'all didn't save him.
You always welcome. Denise said Ray don't want you to end the chat, so he's trying to sacrifice himself.
That's funny.
Right. Well, this was fun. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm gonna play my little song.
Well, you might as well give it the last 3 minutes now. I mean, you almost at 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll give us 3 minutes.
Dang, it's been on this long. I don't even feel like it.
I know.
That's what I said. That's why I said don't be naming nothing no quick chat, because she only does an hour. We're going for 2.
Well, y'all over there with no power?
Oh,
where are you at? Oh, and where you at?
She's in Texas, but south of you.
Oh, jeez, that's horrible.
Yes.
Shout out to P Valley for getting contracted for season 3 and 4.
Oh yes, that's my show. So Dan, go ahead, Lamar.
No, I was going to change the whole subject, ask about something else. I'll wait.
Financial advice, people who are into purchasing stocks, I would recommend investing in, some eVTOLs, that is the electronical vehicles that are air drone taxis, people, because they're coming. And the stocks are going to go up, and they just received government contracts, so it's going to be a thing. So invest in electronic drones for taxis.
That's a nice tip. Appreciate
you going live,
in tech futures. That is what's really going to do it.
Are you about to go live, Q?
I thought you were going to go live, Dad.
I went live last night, so I can't do it again today. It would be right.
I went live the other night.
Candace, have you watched?
I went live before you went. So you went live.
You watched Jennifer Hudson and Sherry Shepherd yet?
No, I haven't.
Let me tell you something. Jennifer Hudson, I can't watch it.
Why?
Because why does she sing on all? I don't want to hear her singing Negro spirituals every week.
I do hate that she's singing Negro spirituals. That do irritate me. You're gonna sing something else, but she is way better than I expected. She's the next Oprah.
No, she's not. Who is?
No, that was supposed to be Carisha.
Jennifer Hudson is definitely not. Sherry Shepherd has messed up because
Jennifer is the next Oprah. I'm sorry. She has the personality.
Carisha, Miss Miami, City Girl is the next Oprah. No,
wait, what?
Have y'all watched Sherry Shepherd's show?
Yes, I've watched Sherry.
So she messed up her show because she won't do Hot Topics. Now, the one I watched with Niecy Nash, it was good. I like that.
Yeah, it was good.
Because they have a good friendship, and I like Niece Nash. But because she won't do Hot Topics, that show's gonna fail.
Yeah, and she's not using, and she don't have Norman on the camera.
Norman or what's the white lady name?
Suzanne.
Yeah. Both of them.
I need to get Norman's sister on here. She's one of my friends here in Dallas. His twin.
Tamron is not the new Oprah. Tamra is boring.
Let me tell you something about Tamron
Hall. Is the new Oprah.
And tell Tamron Hall fixes that damn 1998 logo from Windows 95. She will never be.
Please don't do Tamron Hall.
I'm sick of looking at that Windows 95 logo. She needs to get rid of it.
Tamron Hall is the next Oprah.
Y'all, Jennifer.
She's the next Oprah. We have hope for her.
I think it's Jennifer. I promise.
You
got Ellen's team.
Oprah.
And Cheryl, you got money investing in Tesla.
Yes, she does. Look into Joby. Joby is one. I think their entries into stocks, I think it was like $4.88, which is cheap. So stock up on those. They just got their government contract. It's billions of dollars, and they're gonna go public in 2024 with this shit. So snatch that shit up.
We're trying to get over the top politics.
Thank you, Young Rich. Tamron is the closest thing we have to Oprah. She speaks real on her show. Right.
Have you
nobody
seen
watched it
yet,
though?
Young Rich? I was surprised. If you watch,
nobody watched it. We only see the only reason why people talking about it now because of Kim Burrell.
Right, because nobody watching no Tamron other than that. The only time I watched this when Andrew Gillum was on there after he laid out on the floor.
I'm sorry. When I turn on Tamron Hall and I see that old ass logo, I turn it off.
What was the other network Tamron was on?
ID.
Oh yeah,
NABC.
The murder mysteries and shit.
Yeah, I've always liked Tamron Hall.
I ain't never lied. I don't like she got attitude. Ain't she married to a white man?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's from Texas. That's
so
she's from Kim Burrell.
So
her and Sonny on the View married to a white man too, ain't she?
No, he's Dominican or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beyonce from Texas, and she's not married to a white man.
Well, we've been on for 2 hours and 2 minutes. I'm gonna play my little theme song, and we
got the little theme song. That's a great theme song. It's major.
Yeah,
we about to go live.
The candy shop.
Yeah,
I want to welcome you.
I guess catch them on Q's channel because I'm gonna just be watching. I'm drunk.
I'm not going live because I've been drinking. I might be messy. And I'm not trying to be
are
messy.
You going live?
No, I don't feel like setting them to live.
Lamar, are you going live, Lamb Levity?
I'm tired. I'm really good than Lamb Levity. Ain't anybody gonna show up over there.
Tell Young Rich to go live.
Yeah, Young Rich. I know she do wrestling or something like that.
Yeah, I watch that.
I'm wrestling.
Do wrestling.
I see your channel, Young Rich.
Don't do me, Young Rich.
Oh, she said Toast might be live. Let's have that. Let me just play my music. But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop.